Hello, hello, and welcome back to the Living in Alignment podcast. It's your host, Amy Starr Allen, and I'm honored to be here today with our guest, Sabir Semerkant. And Sabir, this is going to be an awesome conversation. Sabir is an e-commerce veteran with over 25 years of in the trenches experience working behind the scenes with some of the fastest growing brands such as Ashley Stewart, The Vitamin Shoppe, Canon, and many other household names. He's widely regarded as one of the top e-commerce growth consultants in the world. Sabir is responsible for more than $1 billion, yes, with a B, in incremental revenue growth for his e-commerce clients to date using his groundbreaking 8D method. And he's an advisor to Gary Vee, Neil Patel, Matt Higgins from Shark Tank, and they bring him in to advise them on their own e-com brands and investments. And I'm really excited to pick your brain today, Sabir. So how are you?
Amy, thank you for having me on your show.
Absolutely. So yeah, I'm glad you're here, and I'm excited to talk about this topic. So before we roll into all of, all the, well, we'll just roll into it. The first question I want to ask you, though, is just to share a little bit about yourself and your story and your background. And I know you've been doing, you have 25 years of experience. So I'd love to hear a little bit about your journey in this line of work.
So it's a very unusual journey, right? Because when I took on this journey about 25 years ago, prior to that, since the age of 6, I was known as a different kind of a hacker, not a growth hacker, revenue hacker that I am right now. I was known as a coding guy, right? I was a computer scientist. I've written millions and millions of lines of code, more than 20 different computer languages, even some
Wow.
sites that I have launched and did that still exist today, like the street.com with Jim Cramer, right, on CNBC, buy, buy, buy. I was one of the team of founding team members of that team with the street.com, many others too, TommyHilfiger.com and perryalice.com, and so many more. Macy's.com even had my code running for such a long time, right? Millions of lines of code. What's interesting is 25 years ago, I had the opportunity to revive and turn around a small business in the United States. You would know them really well now, right? Called The Vitamin Shoppe, right? 25 years ago, I was hired through Jeff Horowitz's network. He was the founder of The Vitamin Shoppe. The vitaminshoppe.com went public, like many other companies, went public on the NASDAQ, went bankrupt, right? And then the founder, Jeff, he purchased all of the assets from a bankruptcy court and literally put it on the shelf in North Bergen, New Jersey, to find the right person to bring him on, to actually bring the person on to actually revive it and put it back together. That's how I got involved through his network. I got involved with that brand. And after I did all the engineering, technical things that I knew how to do back then, I was really good at it. That's why people would hire me at that time. I was launching a lot of startups at that time. So when I did that, and I went back to Jeff, I said, Jeff, can you connect me with a business marketing person to, team up with, so we can take this vitaminshoppe.com and start growing it? He gave me a puzzled look, like, what are you talking about? My network told me you're the guy. Now this part is going to sound like Captain Kirk and Scotty from Star Trek. I said, Jeff, I'm an engineer. I'm not a business marketing person. He goes like, no, no, no. I've seen you do amazing things with vitaminshoppe.com while you were trying to rise this up and put it back together. Because I literally cut my finger moving the servers. I was putting it back together, optimizing it, doing all the things that I needed to do to revive it and put it back together. And then he goes like, well, the thing is, I'm going to teach you. You're a smart guy. I'm going to teach you the vitamin industry business. You need to pick up a couple of books on marketing, and you and I will team up to bring this together. There is no business marketing person. I have a retail marketing guy that knows retail stores. I have a direct marketing catalog person. Nobody understands e-commerce. That's why it went bankrupt. I don't want to repeat that again. So you're gonna be the guy. You're gonna do this with me, right? So I said, okay, as long as you could tell me about the vitamin industry, I'm gonna go pick up a couple of books. He goes like, did you ever take any marketing courses in your during your university studies? I said, yeah, I took economics 101 and accounting 101. That's all I have. I have never taken any marketing things. So he goes like, okay, so you're going to pick up a couple of books, you're going to learn that stuff. And back then, this is 25 years ago, e-commerce was nascent, right? It's like today, if somebody talks about blockchain and crypto, it's nascent, right? It's not something that you can find too much information about that. So back then, I did pick up. What I would do is during the week, I would run vitaminshop.com and apply whatever I was learning during the week. And on the weekends, I would go to Barnes and Noble, pick up marketing books, sit in their cafe, write notes on whatever I was learning. And during the week, I would bring it and I would just use that information. That's all I was doing. So before it went bankrupt, it was between $8 to $10 million business, yeah, the .com piece of it, right? And what I did was in 4.5 years, this was my first go around. In 4.5 years, I took that business to $52 million and a very profitable net cash flow business. And what I learned in that, and this is something that I think a lot of your audience would relate to, right? What I learned was don't make assumptions about anything. Like my engineering side says, you set up a test, the results are going to be in either it works or it doesn't work. You don't associate your ego with whatever you're testing. And a lot of people, they get into trouble when they associate their ego to play a role in that decision making. Oh, because I came up with this email, it should work. Because I did this creative with my daughter for a Facebook ad, it should work. No, it should work because the idea is good, the strategy is good. It doesn't work, tweak it, right? Don't get married to whatever creative or whatever you're testing. Get married to the results. If it works, do more of that. If it doesn't work, you know what? Move on, do another test. There are thousands of tests that you could be doing. And that's what I learned. I did that every 5 days a week for 4.5 years, took that business that was bankrupt around $10 million to $52 million on my first go around by just reiterating that time and time again, over and over again. And it was just basically that became my mantra. And then what happened over the past 25 years is I just got better and better at it, right? And to me, I just wanted to increase the velocity of how fast I can get to those results profitably. So it's not just top line growth that you can get, but also how can you do it in a profitable way, that when the effort you put in on January 1st should pay dividends and compounded on December 31st, so that you don't give up the effort that you put in. You don't give up the investment you have done in your Meta ads or Google ads or your Shopify store or because a lot of folks, when they apply these things, even though I excel at e-commerce, the principles are foundational. So they apply it to their brick and mortar business. They apply it to other brands. We have so many people that go through my program now that they do it for one brand in the program, but they're running other brands also. There are several entrepreneurs that have multiple brands that they join our program.
That's awesome. I love what you're saying about not making assumptions about things and how and the testing. I always say everything in marketing is an experiment. That's
Everything is.
I've said it a million times, and I believe that. And I believe that, like what you were saying about the ego, like I've had experiences where where like I create something and I think it's going to convert really well and it bombs. And then the thing that I just kind of throw out there converts. Or like I had a business partner at one point that built me this page and he modeled it off of like a top producer in the industry, and he took so much time to make this capture page, and we were going to run Facebook ads to it, and it was going to be the secret sauce. And I threw a bunch of money at it like day one. I think I just to test it, I threw $100 at it, I think, and I got one lead and it didn't convert to a sale. So it was like $100 lead from this page that he thought was going to convert. And I always say, like, you don't know what's going to work until you put it out into the marketplace. like we don't know. It's not us that makes the decision, right? Is that kind of like what you're
It
speaking
is.
to?
It is. I mean, especially if you think about that one landing page you just talked about, right? If you were modeling it compared to somebody else who's had a track record, one, before they even get to that page, there's so much social credibility that the other person has, right? That you're not taking into account. You're discounting that in your head, right? Well, like, no, I'm looking at the mechanics of it. It's exact replica, right? But it doesn't work, right? There are so many things like, why is iPhone so successful over Samsung in the United States, right? If you look at it, function for function, it's exactly the same. Why one takes over? Why does blue text win over green text? When you think about messaging and group that. So it's that, like, you cannot. There's so much that goes into that, and that's why the 8D method that I have crafted over 25 years, and I actually keep on refining it every 3 months. 8D stands for 8 dimensions of your e-commerce business, right? So it's not a game of just landing pages or marketing, right? Or running paid ads. It's on based on, it's a multi-dimensional game when it comes to e-commerce, right? And not just e-commerce, other businesses are also like that. It's multi-dimensional game. If you overemphasize one side of it, and then you would think like, oh, my landing pages are perfect. Yeah, but you're missing all these other things. You're missing the elements of Amy Starr's background story, about how the foundational aspects of the thing that she has created. Why should they believe in that? Where's the social proof side of that equation, right on that page? Like, those things are missing from it. If you're missing from that, compared to like Russell Brunson does the same landing page, but he has thousands of reviews, that goes with that too, right? So you
Mhm.
cannot compare those two things and say, oh, the mechanics are there. Yeah, the mechanics is there, but you're missing the qualitative aspect of that landing page that's missing from that.
Yeah, and we're all different. Like we're all individuals, and I feel like, we if we're not being authentic to ourselves, like so many people want to compare themselves to other people. Like they want to pretend like they want to build their brand like someone else built their brand and do it just like them, but they're not them, just like you said. And so it's not like, how about you do it in a way that feels in alignment for you? And I don't know. Personally, I feel like that's one of the things that trips people up the most, especially like entrepreneurs that are trying to figure this out on their own and they're just like they just want to model verbatim what somebody else is doing. Um,
Yeah, then it's copy and paste. That's why
yeah,
it doesn't work.
yeah,
When you
exactly.
copy and paste, you are, what you're discounting when you're copying and pasting is, unfortunately, you're missing the deeper aspects of that brand that you don't have in your brand. You go like,
Hmm.
well, it's exact replica. Yeah, why should I buy you then? I can go with the other one that you copied from that has all that credibility.
Yeah, and it's missing your heart and soul if
Your
you're
story is missing
yeah,
from it as a
exactly.
founder, and a lot of people don't understand that. A lot of founders don't understand that. In fact, the brand you're copying, maybe it doesn't have a founder anymore, so you have a plus up that you can benefit from, but you're ignoring that and you're going with a copy of somebody else that is missing that critical element that you could provide, as a
Yeah.
founder.
Absolutely. So are the 8 dimensions something that you can talk about, or is it secret until somebody does it?
No, no, no. I will take you. I'll explain at a high level, because the thing is, otherwise this podcast is going to be 18 hours.
Okay.
I'll give you an essence of it, and we actually do. For your audience, for them to check out, they can go to, and you can include this link in your show notes, right? growthbysabir.com/alignment. Just like the name of the podcast, they can go there and they can actually apply to the program to see if there are a fit, and because we want to make sure that the alignment actually is on both sides, on my side as well as on your listener's side. So the 8 dimensions, we start with, you have invested, every ecom business invests in a certain stack, right? So we want to, and what is that stack? It's usually Shopify. There's a Klaviyo for email marketing and SMS, right? They invest in meta ads, right? Facebook ads, Instagram ads, that's part of the stack. Some of them also invest in Google ads, and most of them also invest in some sort of social media presence, right? social media content. So that's the assumption in that. So the first dimension is performance optimization. You have already invested all these things into and your product market fit, right? You have invested in a product that you have tested it on Amazon, you've tested it on your Shopify site, right? There is some proof that this product actually sells, people buy it, they have given you some reviews, so there's a product market fit, right? So in that first dimension, that's the assumption we make. How can we now get this, everything you have invested in, just squeeze out an incredible amount of performance out of it? And most brands that go through this first dimension, just the first dimension, it takes between 3 to 6 weeks roughly. So it's a short period of time. It's not that long, and the work that's needed is not that much. The amount of work that's needed to be done to it to optimize this business is not that much. It's between 3 to 6 weeks of like maybe 15 minutes to 90 minutes max per task. It takes about 3 to 6 weeks. And typically, the brands that have gone through that in 2024 have seen an uplift of 119% growth during
Wow.
this 6 weeks of optimizing an existing thing. So they're not doing anything new. They're just cleaning up stuff to build the right foundation to move forward to dimension two. But in the first dimension is just performance optimization. We're just cleaning things up, fixing things, optimizing it so that you can see like 119% improvement in a business in 6 weeks is quite a bit, that you thought that your business was tweaked. You see that I just squeezed out an elephant out of an ant's butt, basically. That's what 119% is, right? If you want to visualize that, so when they come out of that, now they know that the business is now tweaked to whatever they're doing. It's 119%, right? That's on average, that's what they see. Our best brand has seen 1,400% improvement in
Wow.
those 6 weeks, right? And some of them have seen like 70-80%. So that's why the average is somewhere around like 119% on average, right? And coming out of it, then they focus on each dimension per month, right? And each dimension after that is one month, and it's like 5 tasks you need to complete, and the amount of work is not that much. People think that when they join the Rapid 2X program, which is the implementation of these 8D method, these 8 dimensions, they think it's going to be a lot of work. It's not. It's not a lot of work. It's doing intelligent work with your time, right? So it's not you're not. And some of them, what they do is literally they park the nonsense stuff that they were doing that was not really giving them any kind of output. When they start focusing on these highly tangible results, they laser focus on just getting these tasks done. It's like literally 5 tasks per month. So if you average about 1 to 2 tasks per week, that you can get these 5 tasks done in a month, and that's what they go through dimension 2 through 8 in the following 7 months or 8 months roughly, right? And the other dimensions are pricing. After you do the performance optimization, you work on pricing optimization. So a lot of businesses make the mistake of too much couponing to death, right? Everyone has to do 50% off Black Friday sale. Why are you doing that? Oh, because everybody else is doing. So I'm gonna play your mother, right? If everybody jumps off the cliff, would you jump off the cliff? The answer is no, you shouldn't. And jumping off the cliff in case of e-commerce businesses means bankruptcy, right? That's a very honest answer to that, right? So pricing optimization is not about couponing to death. It's about profit optimization, because it's not just that 119% should not be just top line revenue growth. It should be net cash flow growth also for your business. Why? Because that net cash flow growth gives you future growth in your business. That's how you're going to be funding your future growth, by buying more inventory from that net cash flow. So the second is a pricing optimization. Third is marketing and storytelling. Like there are elements of it, like what you were just talking about, right? It's the founder. Like what is the founder's story? Why did you make this product? What makes you special? right? Even if you're selling the same cat fountain that 20,000 other Amazon sellers are selling, what makes this cat fountain special is because you own a cat named Heather. My cat's name is Heather, you know, Heather. And whenever you have this cat fountain, she loves drinking from it. Okay, can I take a video of that and put it up on my site? And can I tell a story when I'm hosting a live content on my social media on that product page where I'm holding my cat and she's loving and we're doing all sorts of things with that cat. That makes that story more compelling. That humanizes that product. So even though 20,000 other sellers are selling the same product that you bought from AliExpress, right? That makes that product more special because it's me, Sabir, telling that story with my cat, Heather, and showing you how great my cat is, so happy and so furry because of drinking from that cat fountain, right? You're visualizing this in your head as I'm telling you this video script, right? That's marketing and storytelling, right? That's the third dimension. Fourth is customer UX, is the customer journey, right? When consumers are going through this journey with your brand, where does the journey start? It starts from all different places. It could be on YouTube, it could be Facebook, it could be Instagram, TikTok, your influencer that you hired, she's telling that story on Reddit, right? Or it could be Google search, it could be Amazon. Where is your story being told? How does this consumer go through the story with your brand, and how are you managing that flow of that customer, that consumer, from being a prospect that's interested in your story to actually buying a product, and not just buying a product once, but they keep on buying products, from you, right? And that you have a good customer retention from that. So that's customer journey, and that's customer UX dimension number 4, right? And 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So now we move on to after you do performance optimization, you do pricing, you market it, you do marketing storytelling, you do customer UX, right? That's a very good foundation for the first 4 dimensions. Then you move on to product positioning and brand positioning. Because you have such a great foundation with your brand story and your customer flow, now you can position your product to have a meaning, right? A meaning that's unique to your brand, your storytelling, right? And your positioning. This is one of the reasons, like, the same product could be sold at a higher price and people are willing to shell out that money to your brand versus going and buying a cheap brand. That's the thing, right? And your positioning of your product and your brand in that 5th dimension is what gets you to ask for a higher price. Well, we have done a very detailed case study of Orum Brothers. This is a men's jewelry brand based in Netherlands, right? And we have clients from all over the world. So this is not specific to American brands, American products that work. That we have clients from Australia, New Zealand, all over Europe, South America, US, Canada. US, Canada entrepreneurs represents maybe 10-15% of our data, of our entrepreneurs. We have from everywhere. So when in case of Orum Brothers, they were stuck at $1.5 million with negative cash flow, right? They came to us last year, January 20th, 2024. Within the first 6 weeks, they saw not only did we fix the issues in the first 6 weeks, but they saw growth, 112% growth in their e-com business. They were stuck for 3 years at 1.5 million with mounting losses, because what happens when your business is stuck? You start spending more money to solve the problem, right? You think that, oh, it's another agency, ads have become expensive, whatever the things that you're thinking is going on with your business, you're spending money, so your net cash flow goes negative unfortunately, in that case, right? By September 9th, 2024, Orum Brothers broke their $1.5 million the entire year last year, the prior year in 2023. Can you guess, Amy, how much did they do from September 9th through December 31st of 2024 to finish the year?
Another million?
Another $1.5 million. They finished the year at $3 million. Because the work that you do should be compounding over time. The effect of it keep on paying dividends on you, not just by increasing your meta ad spend or whatever. That stayed pretty constant. but we grew that even more because the foundation was pretty strong. And this year, in 2025, we have set a goal of $10 million. We want to grow Aurum Brothers from $3 million to $10 million, and they're on their way to doing that right now. And it's a profitable growth, not just spending money and without any strategy, proper strategy, right? And then 6, 7, 8, we focus on, those are advanced dimensions. That's tech optimization, making sure that you have the right tech moving forward as you scale your business. Your logistics, that's customer support, is your warehouse, is your product manufacturing, right? And then finally, number 8 is your team, right? You have to have the right team. You have to have the right partners in order to continue scaling your business. So those are the 8 dimensions.
I love this so much. And I feel like I want you to speak to this, but I feel like a lot of these can carry over into other things that aren't necessarily e-commerce as well. Like, for example, I'm an affiliate marketer. I know, I teach in a community that is full of other people that are doing affiliate marketing. And so storytelling is something that we talk about a lot. And, if everybody's an affiliate for the same product, like, how do you stand out amongst,
Exactly.
right? Or people that are in like network marketing and MLM and that kind of thing, same thing. Everybody's marketing the same thing. So, and then, the same thing like with the customer journey and, how are you, I don't know. I would like to hear you speak about this, but I know like one of the things that we talk about all the time is like the quality of the leads that you're getting for your business. If you're on YouTube and people are opting into a page from YouTube and they've already seen a video of you, that's a higher quality lead than if you run some type of a solo ad or whatever and they have no idea who you are, but they're still getting onto your email list and it's like a different quality of lead. So would that be considered the customer journey piece?
Yeah, that would be customer journey. It's like, here's the thing, for digitally native brands, right? Meaning that you don't exist in retail stores. You're just exclusively on the web. That's
Yeah.
it. That
Yeah.
you don't exist anywhere else. That's a digitally native brand. It takes about 7 to 9 digital impressions of your brand for the consumer to remember you to make a purchase.
Yep.
7 to 9. So when
Yep.
you run that ad, and if you're running it not on a depth and frequency based on retargeting people who were engaged with your ad, or they went to your site but they didn't make a purchase, but they didn't bounce either, but they looked around, but they did a browse abandonment, not even cart abandonment, right? So if they did something like that, and if you do depth and depth of reach, and you do frequency in that ad, and you hit that mark between 7 to 9 digital impressions of your brand, you will get them to engage with you again, right?
Yep.
Most marketers, they don't understand that. What they do is they go like, well, I'm going to put an ad, retargeting ad to bring that person back. But how many times are they going to see your ad? You have to hit them a few times before they can make that consideration. It's just human nature, right? And plus, in 2025, the consumer attention span is not 3 seconds, it's not 10 seconds, it's 1.7 seconds, right? Because TikTok and Instagram Reels and Amazon app has trained our eye as human beings to ignore things in 1.7 seconds, right?
Yep.
Now, if you're not hitting this frequency of 7 to 9 impressions, right, to that consumer, like to your target audience, they're not going to know who you are, right? They're not going to remember that, right? This is why, like, if you are running cold ads like Advantage Plus or Performance Max campaigns, you have to think about like people who saw your ad and they engaged with it somehow. Either they clicked on something or comment or whatever, right? Or they came to your site. You really need to put them in a different bucket and create a structure around that to retarget those people, right? So that you can get them to engage with you even more. That's how you're going to get a higher ROAS. Yeah, our number one performer, actually, she's seeing, as she's scaling her meta ads, is seeing a ROAS of 9. A 9 ROAS on meta ads is impossible. It's nearly impossible. But that's a pretty regular thing. For Google ads, we see in our program with Rapid 2X see between 6 to 9x ROAS, 4 to 6 ROAS on meta ads. Pinterest is somewhere in the middle there between 7 and 9, something like that. Actually 7 to 8x. Pinterest actually does work really well too for e-com brands and stuff like that. Now, when you were asking me about the, because I want to come back to, you said affiliate marketers, right? What's the difference between you being an affiliate marketer, Amy Starr, versus XYZ, right? The
Mhm.
thing is, your POV matters. How you approach the review of that product. How do you use, whether you're doing the new modern affiliate marketing, which is, you become an influencer, right? Or you're writing blog articles and you're doing organic content and you're doing email lists and old school affiliate marketing, right? Your POV matters. Like what makes this your review different than anybody else's, right? Your background, you are in a certain state, right? You have a certain type of a family, you come from this sort of a background, right? You have this sort of an expertise. All of these things makes up what makes your POV unique about that product review that you're doing, right?
Mhm.
Or the
Yeah.
walkthrough, maybe you're doing an unboxing or you're doing a review of this product. You're building this audience that's very unique to you, that has, that's not anyone like anyone else, right? And then
Mhm.
depends on your affiliate program, right? Do you have an affiliate program, or is it just referral, right? If you have an affiliate program like Honey, for example, right, where, or Capital One has their program that makes you come back because they give you other rewards like Ebates, gives you rewards, cash back and stuff like that, right? Or you collect points and you can redeem it for towards a 529 college plan or whatever. That's You Promise, or whatever, right? There are things like that that makes those programs unique. Even affiliate and customer UX with marketing and storytelling, product positioning, your affiliate platform as a product positioning, brand positioning matters, right? When they go through that sort of a foundational change, you can elevate your program also there.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, I do, and a lot of us in my circles do still do what you're calling old school marketing, which is getting leads, putting them on an email list, and and that's where the follow-up comes in. And we always say the fortune is in the follow-up, and it does take, we always say like you're saying 7 to 9. I've heard like 7 to 12 touches before they're ready to take out their credit card and buy something. And that's where the follow-up becomes really, really valuable. Is that the case with e-commerce? Is there email follow-up or is it just retargeting?
It's email, it's SMS. If you are really good at marketing on WhatsApp actually has pretty good penetration in certain markets, right? And then you can also expand that out because of Klaviyo, for example. You could create what's called dynamic segments that you could expose on Meta ads and Google ads also, right? And then the consolidated effort, this flow that you have created, this customer UX flow you have created across all this digital universe, right? Makes the consumer see you multiple times. That's why you have that 7 to 12x, frequency of touches before they take their credit card and make that purchase. And what's interesting also is that we're talking about the digital access. What happened in 2024, because we are very holistic. We don't just look at Meta ads and Google ads. That's what everybody is like laser focused on that. But the thing is, the world has changed. The world of organic search has changed. The world of even digital marketing has changed. People have ignored direct marketing channels for a long time. E-commerce marketers have, or even affiliate marketers have ignored it for such a long time because they don't even think about it, right? I'm talking about sending a letter through postal mail, sending a postcard through postal mail. When was the last time you did that for your marketing? Probably never, right? What's
I've done
what's
it, just not in a long time. I've been around for a long time, so I've
okay.
done it, but not in a
So you
long
may
time.
have done it during your direct marketing days, not as an e-commerce marketer or as an affiliate marketer. But what's interesting is in 2024, the cost of sending a postcard with postage cost on it is cheaper to do that than Meta Ads click or a Google Ads click. In 2024, it transitioned, right? And most marketers, they don't pay attention to that because they're think, oh, let me fix my audiences on Meta, or let me give better signals to Meta Ads, or let me figure out this other thing. But the thing is, if the game has changed, you need to change the mechanism of the game. You cannot keep on playing the same old game thinking that it's over here. and you're ignoring this amazing opportunity where people have moved away from postcards. They have moved away from printed catalogs or anything like that. And by the way, the ROAS on that is multiples better than Meta ads and Google ads.
Wow. That's interesting that that's come full circle, huh?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I have done direct marketing in my past too, right? And it's interesting. For a long while, I go like, no, it's expensive. You don't want to do that, right? Now, if you get a traffic and you can identify, they gave you their email and they have given you somehow you figured out their mailing address. You can, for those cart abandons, now you can send a postcard to their home, and it will be cheaper for you to do that, and you can get a better return on that conversion than for you to send an email or to retarget them through Meta ads or Google ads. In
Wow.
2024, there was the inflection point.
Wow. So
Yeah.
when you're working with your clients inside of your program, how hands-on are you? Like as far as the optimizing and the tweaking and all of that, like are you helping them with that, or are you teaching them how to do it and they're doing it themselves, or how does
So
that work?
one of the things that's a very good question. So one of the things that I want entrepreneurs to learn through this program is for them to at least gain that knowledge, right? A lot of them, they hand it off to somebody else, right?
Mm-hmm.
They
Yeah.
need to learn why they need to do certain things and why they need to own it, what the KPIs are. A lot of them, unfortunately, don't understand like what the email KPIs are. What is the e-commerce conversion rate? What is the, well, should you use conversion rate? I hate it, by the way. I've abolished conversion e-commerce conversion rate from my entire program. It's a nonsense of a KPI, right? It's garbage. Meta ads, how you should invest in it, how can you scale that profitably, right? The entrepreneur should learn all those things. So besides improving their business, they need to work on themselves to improve their education in the e-commerce world, right? So that's one of the reasons. Like what I do is I coach them. They're given tutorials. They're given the exact prescription on how to get things done. And if they raise their hand and go like, Sabir, do you have a guy for that or a gal for that? Because I've kissed a lot of frogs. I've been burned really badly, and I'm sure you understand what I'm talking about there. Like, I've been burned so badly. Can you recommend someone that who knows how to do this stuff? I would love you to recommend them. And we have Rapid 2X approved partners, whether it's apps or service providers that actually can help you implement those things. Because we believe that after you go through the program, ongoing, you would need the right partners to continue growing your business. And that should be independent of us, right? Even after you're done with the program and now you're self-sufficient and you've moved on.
Yep. So what would you say is the
And I do
biggest,
coach. The short answer, I do coach them myself. I'm involved, heavily involved. It's not like a train the trainer program where I hand it off to somebody else. It's not the case.
right? Okay. So they're learning directly from you.
Yep. And
And
they're
what,
following specific prescriptions that they need to implement in their business.
so you know what's actually going on with each business in
Oh
there?
yeah, they so every person when they start with the program, they're given instructions on how to keep track of the work they do. It's 2 documents. So no fancy apps, no Asana, no Monday, not later, none of that stuff, right? Because that even Trello, that complicates things. Just
Mm-hmm.
2 documents. One is a Google Doc and it's shared with me, and the other one is a Google Sheet, which is a spreadsheet. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
2 things. The Google Sheet, you keep track of all of your data because data is all over the place. As you know, even as an affiliate marketer, you have it in your affiliate network, you have it on Meta ads, Google ads, then Google Search Console gives you data. No, we need it in one place. Like, in case of e-commerce, it's even more, right? So we need all of that in one place, and the founder needs to do it themselves. They cannot get a VA to do that data sync on a weekly basis. That's part of that, right? The other part is the tracking document. They're given a specific prescription that they need to follow, and while they're following it, if they have any kind of comments they want to add, they add it to that tracking document. For a lot of our Rapid 2Xers, that document is few hundred pages now, because since they see that these 2 documents is actually keeping track of their history. Just imagine if I were to ask you, what did you do in your business last year in March? You have to scramble to find that information. Like, why was it successful? Let's say you grew the business so incredibly well. What did you do? You have to scramble to find that information. Now imagine if you have a tracking document and a tracking sheet that tells you exactly what you did. In fact, you
Yeah.
know what promo code it was, how much you increased your spend on meta ads, or what type of influencer you brought on, what type of a promo you did, what kind of improvement you did. You know exactly what happened last year. That's what that document becomes your Bible. Like next year, when you want to repeat what happened this year, you can just go back to it and see, oh, this is what we did, exactly what we did last year, right? There is no guessing. You don't have to go dig around. Maybe there is some app that you had last year that you sunset for some reason. It was not working for you. Now you don't have access to it. But this tracking document is very simple. You just go to it and it says exactly what you did because you wrote it yourself, and you kept
Right.
track of all of your data so that you know exactly how that thing that you wrote quantitatively, how it performed in the tracking sheet.
Wow, that's awesome. So what would you say is the biggest mistake that you see e-com businesses making these days?
This is very odd for me, right? And this is and I'm going to be very blunt about this, right? Because I want all the entrepreneurs, whether they're affiliate marketers or other entrepreneurs that listen to your program. I have been doing this for a long time, right? But every person and my team, just before getting on this podcast, my team actually sent me a note about an entrepreneur who had reached out to them, right? And they actually shared the back and forth that happened, right? The back and forth that happened with my team. And it's basically, the term I would use is, every entrepreneur thinks that there are a unique snowflake, right? You know how
Mhm.
snowflakes are very unique, right? When they fall,
Yep.
like every one of them, we've heard that every one of the snowflakes are different. I've done this over $1 billion in, I don't know, 80 something countries, you know, 27 different categories, different currencies, different languages. Oh yeah, Arabic speakers, no problem. Japanese speakers, no problem. Spanish speakers, no problem. Right. So even today, well, my team actually says, because I've said this during my workshops and stuff like that. There is no unique snowflake in any business. I can tell you, this is my 25 years of experience. Like
Yeah.
even today, they shared an email flow back and forth. I don't want to name the entrepreneur because I don't want to get them in any kind of trouble or anything like that, right? They said, "Oh, do you guys have any brands that are luxury brands? Because we are a luxury brand." Okay, here we go. Here's examples of luxury brands. Oh yeah, yeah, luxury brand, but I want to make sure that you have handbag luxury brands and jewelry luxury brands, because we are two of those two things, right?
Mhm.
Okay, yeah, here we go. Here's our handbag clients. Here are our luxury brand clients, and their price points are, we gave them all the price points, right? And these are truly luxury brands. Like, we have luxury brands that have gone through our program called Globetrotter. Globetrotter, they make luxury luggages. Their minimum price point is $1,500 for one luggage, right? And if you want to buy a collection, that's 10 to 15, $20,000, right? That's a luxury brand, right? And
Mhm.
and we've had, like, Oren Brothers, their price points start around like $600 all the way up to like $3,000 for men's bracelet, right? That's a luxury brand. And we've had others that call themselves luxury brand, but their price points are like women's jewelry that sells for between $80 and $200, but they call themselves luxury brand, but they're not. Like, the
Right.
definition of luxury brand is not that, right? So this person went back and forth, but what about an entrepreneur who is 5 foot 7 feet tall with two kids with blue eyes and green eyes? Like, I'm going now ridiculous with this example, right?
Mhm.
Every entrepreneur thinks that they are a snowflake. They're not, right? I've given you in 2024, we had like 50 brands that went through the program and they grew their business, right? I can tell you, there's no, there's foundational things that are wrong with a lot of brands. This is where we find out incredible growth opportunities. and they invest so much into tactical stuff, and then they say, oh, the people who we went with this course or that course or whatever, or we watched this guy on YouTube and we didn't get the results. Why are you chasing tactics? Why are you chasing tactics? You need to work on your brand on a strategic level so that it gives you that incredible scale that you've heard about from other brands, right? And when you chase these tactics, this is where you run into trouble. And especially if you think that goes back to the ego. The company I've created, the product I've created is so unique. It's not. It's not. Sorry to be very blunt. It's not. Because I can tell you, like, even the ones that say, oh, we have optimized the hell out of our business. They come in, they see a 79% improvement in their business in the first 3 weeks, right? So it's not like you didn't tweak it. You didn't tweak it properly yet, right? And this is how we squeeze out this incredible amount of growth. And that's the biggest mistake, thinking that you are a snowflake, yet you're not, unfortunately. And that might hurt some people when they hear me say this.
So you've basically gotten it down to a science. Like you can take anything and put it through this process and squeeze, like you say, squeeze out more profit.
More profit, top line and bottom line. And the only requirement we have is product market fit, right? But we have had entrepreneurs. So product market fit means that you have tried it, you've grown a business 250K a year, 500K a year, something like that. We have brands that are 10, $15 million in there too, right? Even those guys, they see a tremendous amount of growth from that, right? So product market fit is a good criteria to see that you have tried to sell it. But we have had entrepreneurs, because they heard that this is foundationally very good, they're building their business and they want it to be part of the program, so that they're building and they don't want to make mistakes and find out later that they made mistakes. They want to build the foundation out correctly from the ground up, so that when they want to invest in Meta ads and Google ads and all of those things, that from the ground up, they have the right foundation in their business. So we have several brands that went through the program, that are going through the program. They actually launched their brand during the program, while they were learning about these foundations, and they were implementing it as they were going through the prescriptions.
Nice. So if somebody has like digital products, or they're, like someone like me, an affiliate marketer with digital products, could somebody still benefit from this program if they're not, if they don't have
So most of
e-commerce?
our businesses that are in the Rapid 2X program, they're D2C businesses, right? Most of them. We have some businesses that are B2B, because even with info products, right, digital products,
Mhm.
it depends on who you're attracting. Are you attracting B2B type customers? Are you selling to businesses these information? Like, are you selling mailing lists or anything like that are targeted towards businesses? Are you marketing to consumers, right? If you're marketing to consumers, a lot of the Rapid 2X implementation will be applicable to you. Some things that we're doing, things like add to cart and those kind of optimizations, may not be applicable to you. So that as long as you're entering into the program, you realize that that's the case, then you could implement the things that make sense, and you could ask questions. Because what I do is, in the first 6 weeks of the program, besides doing the coaching on Mondays, on Wednesdays, people ask questions. Like, it's an open forum, 90 minutes. They ask any question. I got variety of questions during that. And we do premium workshops and stuff like that. And outside of that 6 weeks, then they move on to advanced, intermediate, and advanced implementations, where every session is a workshop.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds awesome. So you've worked with, you've helped to build all these multi-million-dollar businesses. Can you tell me and my audience, like, what are some of the biggest things that you've learned from doing this? Lessons that might be applicable to other people, other entrepreneurs, or even people
Sure.
just
So,
getting started?
so the first thing is, park the opinion. Park any. And opinion comes in many different shapes and sizes, right? Somebody shows you an amazing resume because they're from Johnson and Johnson, right? Go like, oh my God, Johnson and Johnson guy is talking to me. They want to join my company. Well, Johnson and Johnson guy could make a tiny mistake at Johnson and Johnson, and probably is going to spend more than the revenue you're going to make this entire year. So it's
Right.
not the same thing. So that's not impressive. So opinion doesn't matter. Opinion and ego does not matter. Park it, right? So that's number one. Number two, this entire business of digital e-commerce marketing, digital marketing, affiliate marketing is, if you believe in this wheel of, if you flywheel of test, learn, and optimize, and test, learn, and optimize anything. And how much should you be testing? A/B testing every day. AB stands for always be testing, right? AB testing, right? Just remember that. And if you
I
can
like
do
that.
that, if you can do that by improving, pick on one KPI. And today you should improve that KPI 1%. Tomorrow you could pick another KPI. It's fine, right? If you do that 365 days, you have improved that business by 37x. You raise your hand and go like, Sabir, you sound like a robot. I'm not a robot. I take time off for the weekends. I spend time with my dogs, with my family. I need to take vacation time off. I need mental health days. Okay, fine. Working days, including, if I exclude the federal holidays and state holidays and city holidays and religious holidays, I'll give you all of those days off. There are 220 working days in a year, right? That means that if you improve your KPI by 1% every day, you will grow a business by 22x in a year.
Can you explain for anybody that doesn't know what KPI is?
It's key performance indicators, right? It's things like, you send an email out and you want to look at your open rate, right? You send out 100 emails. You want to see how many people open that email. Let's say 45 people open it. Your open rate is 45%, right? So in e-commerce, there are a lot of KPIs, right? And this is where you need to know which KPIs matter and which KPIs don't matter. And in my program, we actually focus people on certain specific KPIs when we are focused on each one of these dimensions that we are optimizing.
Okay, awesome. So park the opinion and test, learn, and optimize. Is that what I wrote
Yep.
down?
Test,
Okay.
learn, and optimize. Make that your religion. And number 3, data is king.
Data is king.
Data is king, right? Whenever I have data outweighs any opinions out there, right? It tells me exactly what people are doing, what's happening. I can study anything with data, anything. You want to know how important your brand recognition is? I can measure it, right? I can measure it. Most people think that, that's a qualitative, quantitative stuff. No, it's fully quantitative. I can actually measure it and tell you how much it is. I can tell you, if you send an email, how well it's going to perform. It's going to tell me the quality of your list that you have, right? So data is king, especially in the field that we are in. There is no guessing game. There is no guesses, right? This is why when entrepreneurs join the Rapid 2X program, what they learn is they do things, everything is measured, and then they can improve it. One of the class of entrepreneurs that's in our program, and they have seen a lot of successes, are Dutch entrepreneurs from Netherlands, from Germany, from Sweden, and from Switzerland and stuff like that, right? And Austria, right? And they're very factual. They love the fact that the program runs on facts, right? There's no guessing game here. It either works and we're going to do more of it, or if it doesn't work, let's park it and rethink how we want to retest this thing. And then they just keep on doing it, and they win big time, and their businesses are growing at that pace.
Yeah, that's awesome. I feel like that's a piece that people just don't want to, I know you love data. That's kind of how your brain works, but a lot of people, they're creative and they don't want to deal with that part, the looking at the data. But the data
How
is,
about this for the creative people? You want to know how good your creative is, right?
yeah.
I can measure it. I can tell you how great you are as a creative person, right? But here's the thing, like, that's actually points to a problem with entrepreneurs, right? Whenever they are in a certain lane, they are a product designer. So I don't understand this e-com business, right? I don't understand the business marketing side of it. I'm a product designer. No, you're a business owner, right? You signed up to be a business owner. It just so happens your skill set is in product design, right? But this is something that is for the sake of the health of your business. You need to learn these things, right? Education is a big part of it. You were not born a product designer, right? You learned that skill set. Entrepreneurship is a learned skill set. You can learn e-commerce entrepreneurship, right? You can learn it. You can get really good at it. Don't just make assumptions that you know it. A lot of people come in and go like, "Oh, I know ecom." No, but what specifically do you know? I find out that they know very specifically how to bring audiences from meta ads. That's it. They don't
Mhm.
know e-commerce as a whole. They don't
Right.
understand it. They don't even understand how a warehouse works, right?
Right.
To ship those orders out, that Prime delivers it to you within an hour. They don't understand any of it, right? So you need to have, you should be a sponge when you don't know those things. You should know that your power is product design, but become a sponge on learning all these other things. When you give it off to somebody else, that's where a lot of businesses run into trouble, because
Yeah.
there's a high level of trust that the other person knows what they're doing. And then
Mhm.
that's where they find out they were not just kissing frogs, they were kissing a lot of poisonous frogs, unfortunately.
That's awesome. Well, I love this. You obviously know your stuff, and I know that there's a lot more in your brain, but we are coming to the end here. So I want to ask you, do you have anything that I didn't ask you, any like closing thoughts or anything else that you want to add to this conversation today?
I would say for entrepreneurs, I think whether you're an affiliate marketer or e-commerce entrepreneur or any other type of entrepreneur, just don't make assumptions about things, right? You just be purposeful in whatever you do. The first question you should always ask is, why should we do it? Not how or what. You
Mm,
get into trouble when you do, oh, how do I do this, or what should I do? No, forget about those questions. Ask, why should I do it first? Because if you
okay.
ask that why question, you would realize how much money you're going to end up saving, or how much more money you could make in your business by understanding the why, the purpose of the thing you want to do, not the
Mhm.
how or the what. Then you are chasing a lot of YouTubers and TikTokers, and that's where your business starts running into trouble, right? Be
Mhm.
purposeful. Find the best consults that you can. This is why I came up with this program, so that I can become more available to entrepreneurs. And this is my reason for the program, by the way, right? Before, I was a hidden secret, right? I'm a co-founder alongside Gary Vaynerchuk with VaynerCommerce, right? The VCs, the venture capital companies, knew about me, so they would bring me on to help them grow the business. The sharks brought me in to help them grow those shark investments that they would make, right? So I was known in a very small circle. That's why I opened up this program, to actually make myself more available. Otherwise, on a private one-on-one basis, very unaffordable, right? For a lot of
Yeah.
businesses. But now they have access to this incredible program that's built on success and a lot of case studies. So this is not BS, right? Because there is a lot of, unfortunately, fraud and con people out there, that take your money. Like, this is one of the reasons, one of the criteria we go through is an interview process with the person that wants to join our program. We want to make sure that you are a right fit. That includes, is your business at the right stage? And number two, are you the right person for that business? Right.
Mhm.
And if the answer to either one of those questions is no, then you're not part of the program. You can follow my content on social media and podcasts and other places. And we have a community also. You can follow my content there, but you can't be part of the program, and we do reject quite a lot of people.
That's great that you vet everybody like that. So where else can people find you? Well, let's tell them again. The link is growthbysabir.com/alignment, right? Where they can
Yep.
go learn more about the is it Rapid 2X
Yep.
program?
Yep.
And so growthbysabir.com/alignment. I will put that in the show notes as well. And also tell us, you said people can follow your content on social media and so forth. Where what are the best
I'm
platforms or
I'm
which?
everywhere. So you could find me on Facebook, Instagram. Just put in my name. You would be able. It's a very unique name. So they could
Yeah.
find me on LinkedIn, on everywhere, like Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. I have a YouTube channel where there are a lot of case studies that we have posted about Ashley Stewart, Oram Brothers, all the testimonials, everything is there. But the best place to go is that link you just shared, and from there they could follow all the other links from there.
Oh, perfect.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, it's been such a pleasure having you on today. I learned a lot, and you're definitely a very knowledgeable person in your field, and I'm sure anybody that has the opportunity to work with you will be blessed for that experience. So thank you for being here. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Amy, for having me.
Yeah. And any last words before we close it out?
Go on and make 2025 successful.
Yeah, we're still in the beginning. February's almost over, but not
But
quite.
time flies. Time flies, man. You gotta
Yeah,
do things every day.
exactly.
That's it.
Exactly. There's no time like the present.
Yep.
So, and don't make assumptions and test everything.
Yeah.
Always be testing, A/B testing. So, thank you again, Sabir, and we'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye for now.